Thank you very much for joining us today at Alchemist Japan Showcase 2025. Hello, my name is Kohaku, and I will be your MC for today. It is my great honor to be here with you all. We have a few announcements before we begin. Please scan the QR code on the flyer provided at your seat, and by scanning this code, you can access the Startup Playbook to view profiles and pitch decks and connect directly with the founders. And here is today's agenda. Following the opening remarks, we will have a panel discussion followed by pitches from 9 startups. After the pitches, there will be some time for networking, and we all hope you all enjoy. Now we will begin with an opening remark. First, we would like to invite Mr. Ravi Bilani, founder and CEO of Alchemist Accelerator, and Ms. Yoko Manabe, managing director of Alchemist Japan. Please come up to the stage for greetings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Woo-hoo! Welcome, everybody. It is so good to have everybody here at the second Alchemist Japan Showcase. Woohoo!
Yay!
I've heard my role, apparently. So for those who don't know me, I'm Ravi Bilani. I am the founder and CEO of Alchemist. I'm here from San Francisco representing the U.S. Alchemist team. This cohort, as you guys all may or may not know, is going to be graduating from Japan, and then we take them into San Francisco for 6 months. And so it's really a handoff between Japan and the United States. I am here in Tokyo because we do believe the next great unicorn is going to be launched from Tokyo, and we are so excited to usher that in. And we're also here to really forge and bridge. What we're intending to do is to create a community. Alchemist is about accelerating not just the development of our startup founders, but also the extended community. What we say at Alchemist is that everything is better in the context of others. When you're doing really well, you want to celebrate with everybody else. And when things are struggling, it's helpful to have a peer group of founders to get support with. And really, you are part of the extended Alchemist community. And so really, we couldn't do what we tried to do without you here. So we know how valuable your time is, and we appreciate your being here. How many people have been to an Alchemist event before, either a showcase? Fantastic. Welcome back. And how many people is this your first time? Welcome, welcome. We love having you. We are continuing to build out the community, and so if you want to connect one-on-one, please reach out to either Ryoko-san or myself, or Laurent is also here from San Francisco, or anybody from the extended Alchemist team. We're happy to connect. So thank you and welcome. I should say, I also should thank Ryoko-san and the whole the Japan team. There were over 1,000 startups that wanted to be a part of this cohort. They've selected the 9 that you're going to see today. How many people invest capital? Okay. So for all the investors out here, our goal here is to really condense several months worth of work into literally the next hour. So you'll have really there were tons of companies that wanted every spot that's in the program today. Ryoko-san, I'll turn it to you.
Yes, thank you. And you said what I was gonna say, so that but it's okay. But still, so Japan, Alchemist Japan is actually the first office in Asia, and then I think it's I can say that it's the first program of the Alchemist really connected with the US program, so that we selected the company with US standard. So we used that US the interviewer, and then check that if they can go to the US program. That means that that everybody who accepted Japan program will go to the US program, and they're gonna do this cohort gonna demo in May in the US, and then last year, couple of the startup accepted by program actually immediately fundraised after US demo. So this is literally the sneak peek of the great Japanese or great startup from Asia who can globalize immediately. So don't miss it. And then also that this year the pitch would be just 1 minute, so that it's also that the half of the program is actually a deep tech startup. So it's hard to actually understand why they're great or how that's possible. So we have a demo day in the back. So after the pitch, we have a networking time. So please talk to that the startup. So
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
One more. We have Shinji Asada here. Sorry, Shinji, can I ask you to stand up? Because really, Alchemist Japan is Shinji's vision come to life. And just off of what Ryoko-san was saying, literally, this was several years ago. Shinji Asada-san was at Salesforce Ventures and had the vision to bring Alchemist to Tokyo. It took us almost a decade to actually make that happen, but it finally has. And one of the companies, I was just telling Shinji-san about this just before this, is an Alchemist graduate that Salesforce Ventures is now funding at a $2 billion valuation. I guess that's confidential. Hopefully this won't go out publicly. But that was a company that was literally sort of on the stage with two people at one time when they launched from Alchemist. And the investors that funded after their showcase have a 300x multiple on that investment today. So, you're going to get these 1-minute pitches, but just know that these are going to become, some of the companies will become phenomena. And so this is really the time, if you're interested, to sort of jump in.
So can I add one more topic?
Yes.
So since you mentioned about US demo day and the fundraise, so everybody who actually attended here received the invitation of the vault, and that's the social network system is that the Alchemist Cross Network. And then if you actually sign up for that, you have access to that US demo day too, if you are the investor. So that it will send you the invitation, so please accept that. So that's, yeah. But with that, so that we can start the, the demo day, the showcase. So please enjoy our showcase 2025.
Thank you very much. And now we would like to welcome Ms. Eiko Shimada, General Manager of Innovative Communities Department, Mitsubishi Estate. Please come up to the stage.
Hello, everyone. I'm Eiko Shimada, General Manager of Innovative Communities Department, Mitsubishi Estate. We operate this facility called Global Business Hub Tokyo, where Alchemist Japan is based, and with 5 more facilities for startups around this area called Marunouchi. We are so honored to have today's program and Alchemist Japan's second batch here at Global Business Hub Tokyo. As a real estate company, owning more than 30 buildings around here, we are trying to build an innovation ecosystem to improve the value of this central business district of Tokyo. There are about 5,000 companies around here, and most of them are looking for opportunities to collaborate with startups. We are trying to introduce those companies, mainly large corporates, to startups and let both of them grow their business here. We are also operating wet labs in medical university called Science Tokyo and supporting accelerator program in Tokyo University. We are trying to use these connections to let people, intellectual properties of academia mingle with the business world. We are also operating a community of large corporates' new business division called Marunouchi Innovation Platform. There are about 350 members joining this community to search for a collaboration or partnership to boost their own new businesses. More than 200 startup companies are now based in our facilities, and we would like to see more global startups join our community and innovation ecosystem. I'm so excited to be here to meet the new players to join us. So thank you very much for having this great show today here. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shimada. Now we will move on to the panel discussion. I would like to introduce our wonderful panelists. Noria Taritari, Deputy Director General of the Innovation Department and Head of Jetro Startup from Jetro. Shinji Asada, Co-founder and CEO, General Partner, One Capital. Ravi Bilani, Founder and CEO of Alchemist Accelerator. And the moderator is Lauren Rains, Managing Director, Global Alchemist Accelerator.
All right, thank you all very much. It's great to see so many people here this evening. I was here last year, and honestly, it's even more people are here, and there's a lot of familiar faces, so thank you. I want to get started with a quick round of introductions. I know many of you here are familiar faces, but we also have people that might not be familiar with you. Noria, maybe you could start out and introduce yourself.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm Noria Taritani. Please call me Nori, Deputy Director General of Innovation Department of Japan External Trade Organization, JETRO. And we are helping to create a born global startup here in Japan and helping Japanese startup to go global. So we are a corporate partner of Alchemist. We help Alchemist to come to Japan and very happy to be a part of the Alchemist not demo day. What's the name? Alchemist Startup Showcase today here in Japan.
Yeah, that's right. Shinji, maybe a few words.
Okay. One Capital. I'm just a fund.
I'm just a fun.
Just a fund. Yeah. I focus on enterprise SaaS startups. I've been investing since 2015 from Salesforce Ventures, and now I have my own fund. So yeah, that's it.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. And Ravi, maybe just a couple of words about yourself. Maybe what's exciting you today?
What's exciting me today is to seeing all of your faces. It's so good to see the community here. My official background is I'm the CEO of Alchemist. Besides that, the other hat that I do wear is I teach at Stanford. I'm a lecturer in the engineering school, and I co-chair the curriculum and education subcommittee of the Entrepreneurship Center at Stanford. So if that might be relevant too. Yes.
Well, let's get started on a couple of questions about trends here. And this one's for you, Ravi. Looking right now in the Valley, we've had a really exciting year. AI has completely stolen the limelight. Outside of AI, what are some current trends that you're seeing right now within the funding ecosystem, especially at early stage? What have you been seeing lately?
Well, I think outside of AI, there has been we're particularly excited, and we're seeing also a shift towards more deep tech. I think that's also a trend of the last year, is that as software is getting commoditized by AI. I don't know if you've seen it, but the number one major across universities in the United States has historically been computer science, but computer science now has some of the highest rates of unemployment. Strangely, for fresh computer science grads, it is the unemployment rate for computer science grads in the U.S. is higher than art majors in the U.S. And so there's always these periods of bubbles. In the 80s, the biggest major of the 90s was economics, and that was a bubble because everybody was going into investment banking. It went into medicine, like biology became the number one major, and now it's sort of computer science for the last decade. And so there is this secular shift where over the last decade, computer science was always the safe haven place to go, and now that's getting commoditized by AI. And that where that's reverberating is that on the innovation side, there is a lot of eyes now going towards, first of all, AI is still incredibly popular, and we can talk about that. But per the prompt from the question, I'll talk about other areas besides AI. And I would say, the areas outside of AI that I think are interesting are a lot of the deeper tech. There's a lot of interest right now, obviously, in semiconductors. What's happening, we just had a company called Xlight, which is doing a next generation semiconductor fabs that just raised 150 million. And there's an interest in synthetic bio, materials to a lesser extent, but some of the VCs are going into areas that they haven't gone into in the past. Having said that, AI by far is the biggest trend of the year, and we can talk more about that if we want. Vertical AI is the new enterprise SaaS, and the multiples that you're seeing are crazy, and the revenue run rates are obscene. Like you're seeing companies that we've had companies now that go from 0 to 100 million in revenue in a year. Mm-hmm. Unprecedented, just absolutely crazy. Yeah.
Excellent. Shinji, maybe I know that you look quite a bit at both sides here of the Pacific, and what are you seeing as far as those trends getting picked up here in Japan?
It's a big question. Obviously AI is one of the biggest pillars that we're actually looking into in terms of fundraising and investing. But generically speaking, I think the global LLM players are just too strong. That I do not see a viable path for a Japanese-born LLM. Of course, Sakana AI is extremely interesting. I'm sure a lot of the big Japanese companies funded that company, but we have yet to see what the product looks like. It's still a concept phase. Of course, they're probably generating revenue through system integration businesses like Palantir-ish in Japan. But so having said that, there's a lot of application layers that is embedded on top of these LLMs that is becoming AI-enabled SaaS. And that trend is really, really accelerating because the old SaaS, there's probably lots of blogs out there saying SaaS is dead. And I think that is true. If you are just a system of record and showing a bunch of dashboard data that's interesting, but doesn't give you an analysis or a recommendation, those types of SaaS is extremely in a very, very hard zone to actually be viable. But if you become the second brain of the user base, like how I am using all the LMs, then I think you'll survive and even be more successful. So we're seeing a lot of AI-enabled SaaS right now, especially in the space that I'm actually in focus.
Okay. And then when you're looking at this, and this is a little bit for you, Nori, when you're looking at AI-enabled SaaS, specifically coming from Japan, do you see that as being one of the focuses for global expansion? Or do you see that mostly for the Japanese market?
Oh, that's good questions. The one of the big change for the Japanese market, actually, we see many born global startup right now. And we have supported over 2,000 startups, but 50% of our portfolio is pre-seed and seed stage. That being said, the people are changing the mindset, people to go global from day one. So obviously, it's not whether it's a AI or a deep tech or any other industry, they try to go global first.
Okay. And how are you seeing that mindset changing? Maybe, and this for you, Shinji, as well. How are you seeing that mindset changing? What are some signals that you're seeing that there's a new mindset with Japanese entrepreneurs at being global?
That's a big question as well. Just to dissect the market, like if you are a horizontal SaaS company or a vertical SaaS company that Ravi just mentioned, there's a lot of low-hanging fruit. A lot of the communication is done through fax machines still. If you talk to an entrepreneur attacking that space, why should that entrepreneur go after the global market with so much other funding in the U.S. market, right? So it's a step-by-step process. And I'm not saying no global at day one, but like of course if you have a low hanging fruit, you should go after it and build some recurring revenue, traction. You can get equity easily with that path. And I think more and more companies are gaining traction because the SaaS market in Japan is getting bigger compared to last like a couple of years ago. You have 50, 100 million ARR companies growing up in Japan, that's privately funded right now. Mm-hmm. And those are going to be the next, wave of $1 billion exits, just like we saw with Sansan and Free. And once they accomplish that $100 million ARR revenue point, then I think they're financially and organizationally fit to go after the global market. And there are more companies, becoming bigger and bigger in that perspective. But day one, I think there's still a lot of low-hanging fruit. And that's my first point. The second point is you have many global entrepreneurs coming into Japan, sort of starting companies with local Japanese entrepreneurs, and I think those are a recipe of success when you think about going global. Because if you're, if you're born in Japan, raised in Japan, worked in Japan, and trying to go global, that sounds like a fairy tale to me. Just to be totally frank, right?
So I want to pick up on this theme here of these truly international or global teams, and that this is being enabled by having right now entrepreneurs from around the world coming here to Tokyo because it's a great place to live, and it's a great place to innovate. What are you seeing as far as support right now that's happening to encourage this and to encourage those international teams to form? These international teams. Maybe Noria, maybe you could take this one.
International forming, the team. How can we support it? What do you mean?
Yeah, how can we support that?
Oh, yes, that's great questions. Japan is changing right now, and the number of the startup has been dramatically increased. Used to be Japan had 16,000 startup in total, but the number of the growing up to 25,000 in 2025. It's 50% increase in the past 4 years. And the big things is, the most important part is who is funding the startups.
Okay.
And if we see the funding the startups, it's coming from the university-oriented startups.
Okay.
As well as large companies, people quit the job and to start a business. And the third pillar is international founders. Mm-hmm. So we see many big increase in the international founders with start with business with the Japanese founders, and 30% of our success story come from the team which has the international founders.
Okay, wow, this is incredible. So 30% of the success stories have one international
One
founder.
international founder. In US, and 55% of the unicorn startup has at least one immigrant founders, right? So diversity is the most important to get success in the global market. So we try to create a matchmaking system between Japanese founder and the international founders. But this is the first time to challenge it. It's really difficult to matchmaking for the international founders, Japanese founder, but we want to try.
I love that. That's amazing. It echoes something I just read. The November 8th Silicon Valley Bank H2 report had, of the top 100 unicorns in Silicon Valley right now, 59 of those had at least one founder that was an international founder, which means they got their undergraduate degree outside of the US. And that's accounted for 19 of the top 20 for $1.7 trillion of post-money valuation. And so this is completely echoing what you're saying here.
Yeah, but not only the founders, but if you feel very difficult to get a co-founder from the international, you may get international mentors from the many acceleration program, like Alchemist, right? So you can reach to international mentors or international investors, angel investor, or international venture capital through the Alchemist program, which do the warm introduction to the potential customers or potential clients and potential venture capital, which makes a Japanese startup to go global.
Right.
So that's very important point to get international talent, not only in the your international team, but also as an advisor.
Excellent. So Ravi, to you here, community coaching, mentorship has been at the heart of Alchemist and what we do. As you're looking forward right now, how do you see us expanding that? How do you see Alchemist expanding that to take into account more international presence?
Well, I think we already have a couple initiatives globally. Tokyo is one of them, where we have programs with international founders that come to the U.S. and they're hybrid programs. And I think the truth is that Alchemist just has to be the best place for any enterprise-focused or industrial-focused founders to accelerate, and then we become the gravity center where founders come from us. So, the U.S. isn't hurting for international founders that want to get funded by Silicon Valley. The issue is making sure that Alchemist can be the bridge to ensure that those founders do get funded by the top VCs. And so that bridge occurs. So it's really creating the cartilage of that bridge. Some of those things are what Nori was mentioning. Like one of our unicorns in India, MoEngage, their head of sales was their Alchemist sales coach. So they is an all-Indian team. They became the #1 U.S. mobile marketing platform, and the company's completely based out of India. So it was an Indian company that took over the U.S. market. They were #1 on Gartner. And they came to Alchemist for 6 months. They worked out of the Yammer office where Alchemist got started. Yammer was a unicorn that came from the PayPal mafia, and we had 2 unicorns from that class. It just felt like a full circle loop. And I say that because a lot of this community element that Laurent is talking about is really just exposing the international founders to how Silicon Valley thinks. What that means are what are appropriate growth goals to set, what's the right bar for talent to join, and for fundraisers to build a unicorn. Like just those mechanics you need to educate to the international founders. But then they can still build the companies from their international hubs. So, and it can be a competitive advantage. So in this case, with this company, MoEngage, we ended up pairing them with their Alchemist coach who became their head of sales. The whole team outperformed all the U.S. competition because their cost basis in India was so low. And got engineering talent in India that was better than the engineering talent you could get in Silicon Valley and not have to worry about everybody else competing. So just to give you context, in Silicon Valley right now, it's hard to get an entry-level software job, but if you are a LLM architect, which there aren't that many, the salaries are so high from the big players that startups can't compete, and our startups even have their top LLM talent getting poached by the big corporates, by OpenAI and so forth. So there's a competitive advantage to physically not being in Silicon Valley in some ways too. And I think that's Alchemist's role, is to bring the international founders to Silicon Valley and expose them, but then also create these bridges where you get the best of both worlds. You fundraise from Silicon Valley and you build from your local presence.
Okay, amazing. Thank you. So, Shinji, I know that you have a little bit of a contrarian view, and that's why we enjoy you so much. Do you think that Japan is really ready to scale globally right now? I know that you say there's low-hanging fruit in the Japanese market. Do you think that Japan's ready? And if not, what are the steps needed to get ready for more global expansion, to get the next Moengage to come out of Japan?
See, I mean, it's always a handful of entrepreneurs or groups of people that really changes the world, right? So it doesn't have to be Japan as a whole being ready to go global. It's probably a handful of people in this room that's participating in this accelerator program. And I think the reason why I've been begging Alchemist to come to Japan is because if you look at Y Combinator, they have their own hub in the US market. Why come to Japan? And they're all, a lot of those services are like, at that time, B2C.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Japan has a amazing talent in terms of B2B. And that's what Alchemist is focused on. So just to answer your question in a more short way, I think we have enough handful of talented entrepreneurs in Japan with a team consisting of international founders and a local talent. I think those types of companies are really ready to go global. But you have to be really specific in the solution set. I mean, Ravi said deep tech. I think deep tech, there's lots of deep tech, right? It ranges from rockets to like healthcare to bio and all
right.
My thesis is like hardware in general. And there's a lot of, hardware startups that is popping up actually under the ground. And if you have those founders partnering up with like a global sales of head, like, one of the mentors of Alchemist, I think there is a chance for those companies to be a really global phenomenon. So I'm a very, I want to be very realistic, not just being optimistic as a VC, but like, I think there is a handful of people that's really, really ready. And I hope all those founders are joining this program so that they get a, boost and, connections to the global market.
Right.
Right.
Excellent. And Noria, what needs to change still? What do you think still needs to change here in order to get that handful to go global?
That's great questions. But we are going in the right direction. Because, I already told the number, right? 16,000 startup to 25,000 startup. It's 50% increase, right? And most of the startups go global from day one. So what we do is to, encourage all founders to fail fast and, to pivot in the very early stage and to find a product market fit in the early stage. And to get to go global from the seed stage, but besides the pre-seed or seed stage environment, we want to create a later stage funding because it's later stage fund is limited in Japan. So actually last month I visited a couple of the tier 1 venture capital, like a Lux Capital Insight Partners in New York. And I talked with them, and they are really, really interested in investing in Japanese startup. They really invest in the, Lux Capital invest in Sakana AI, and also Insight Partners invest in the Factbase, right? That was the first investment for Insight Partners to invest in the Japanese startups. So they are finally aware of, Japanese startup is enough investable, right? And if we can catch the attention from the global top tier VC, and the valuation will be, hiring up, right? And if we can create a hero, like 10 billion startup, 100 billion startups, that success story will encourage the Japanese founders or Japanese university students to start their business, right? So that's a, ultimate goal for us.
Right. And I want to just dig into something you said about university students and that inspiration, right? The inspiration of a hero story. Right now within the university ecosystem, it's something that at Alchemist we're actually digging deeper into with a partnership with the University of Chicago. And we're very interested in learning how to expand that more. What are you doing from that university level to encourage startups to spin out technologies or encourage entrepreneurship amongst students? I know that's something dear to your heart.
That's really hard question. So I want to get the answers. Actually, I contacted many researchers, but researchers want to be continue to research. So they don't want to spin out. So try to find a way to encourage from those scientists to start a business. But I think that we need a ERR, entrepreneur in residence, or serial entrepreneur to contact to those researchers and the student, and creating the international team with serial entrepreneurs or researchers and students. Those kind of the formation makes to create a next future unicorn.
Absolutely. We bet on some of those teams. So when we look at teams coming out of University of Okinawa with international founders and coming out of top tier Japanese universities with truly international teams, that catches our attention. So I want to have kind of to wrap it up here, and from a positive standpoint, from a standpoint of looking forward, what would you like to see over this next year? Right? What would you like to see over this next year in 2026 in terms of changes, not that the government can make, not that enterprises can make, but changes in mindset? What do you see as being the most important change in mindset that we should see from the Japanese ecosystem here? And Shinji, I'll get started with you because you're in the middle, but take a breath.
Entrepreneurs want to start their own businesses because they just want to start it, right? I think that is consistent, and that I think should be the baseline of why they wanted to start a startup, right? But at the same time, I mean, AI is really, really changing how we do things. Like, I'm sure everybody uses AI right now, and everybody believes in AI. And the amount of problem solution that AI has already provided is the base. So I guess to answer your question in a more short way, I think just live AI and eat AI and do AI.
Okay.
That's my tagline.
Live, eat, and do AI. I can't agree more. I tell my teams this all the time. How are you using it? Can you use AI to do this? How can you use AI to do this? Ravi.
I would say just form mixed teams. That's sort of I think the Venn diagram overlap between what Nori was showing was the Japanese companies that have international co-founders outperform globally. In Silicon Valley, they put a premium on if you're Japanese. If you're not in Silicon Valley, it's actually a good thing if you have also the U.S. ethos. So, having these hybrid teams is the thing that I would focus on in the short term. Your team is foundational, so it's easy for me to say that. At the same time, you have to have chemistry, and you have to also have complementary skill sets. But go for mixed teams. I want to see more mixed teams out of Japan.
All right.
Yeah, I think that the big difference between Japanese startup ecosystem and Silicon Valley ecosystem or Chinese ecosystem, there are two factors: the speed and the scalability, right?
Okay.
So please contact Silicon Valley entrepreneurs or Chinese entrepreneurs as much as possible, because actually they're gonna move fast, 10 times faster than you do right now, 10 times, right? So understand those speed, and probably you wanna ask the international mentors or venture capital to get insight of the Silicon Valley's mindset or Chinese mindset, and to integrate those mindset to compete the global competitor.
Okay, I love that. So speed for you is that number one thing as far as
Yeah, I think the speed is the biggest difference between Japanese startup and international startups. Do you agree? Yep.
All right, that's fantastic. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for attending, and we're going to start our pitches here in just a minute. So big round of applause.
And it is now time to move on to the startup pitches. Today we have 9 startups, and each startups will have 1 minute for their pitch. After every pitch, please scan the QR code shown on the screen to share your quick feedback for the startup. And if you would like to connect with the startup, please indicate it in the form, and Alchemist Japan will help you get connected. Now for the first pitch, Terai. Presenter is Mr. Stephen Wu. AI knowledge engine that enhances geotechnical decision-making accuracy and speed in construction and energy sectors. Okay, Mr. Wu, now it's your turn.
Thank you very much. I'm Steven, co-founder from Terai. Look at all the wonderful infrastructure in Tokyo. All these developers has to make decision before they build these wonderful buildings. They have to think about where to build, what's the soil beneath it, and what kind of cost it will induce. And to do that, you have to fully understand what's under the ground, but it's very difficult. And here in our team, Terai, we are building the world's most comprehensive geological information platform that also have an AI assistant to support the engineers to make faster and better decisions. 5 major developers have validated the demand and ready to work with us as design partners. We have the perfect team for this job. I'm a Caltech PhD, 15 years of experience in AI and civil engineering. Our co-founders, experts in real estate and as well as geotechnical engineering, shaping the national standards. We are Terai, building the intelligent foundations for future cities. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the wonderful pitch. Now please scan the QR code shown on the screen to share your quick feedback for the startup. The next pitch is Bricks. Presenter is Mr. Pepper Yen. By utilizing Bricks solutions, retailers can automatically build and operate AI-powered displays and interfaces in each store, achieving real-time individual optimization and further improving customer engagement. Okay, Mr. Yen, now it's your turn.
You know, today's weather, 2 degrees, but the Starbucks still promotion about the milkshake. They're really losing about the business opportunity. But Bricks can fix that. We help the enterprise to full control the endpoint in the physical space. And Bricks will auto-deploy the real-time information and even the strategy to every screen and kiosk. For example, according to weather, we change the price. That's how we help the Subway, the sandwich one, okay, to grow the revenue 30% in just 3 months after using Bricks. I'm Pepper, founder and CEO of Bricks, and our team is an Edge AI native company. We're building a secure and affordable solution for enterprise. We believe in that the world, people, and smart device and AI agent can co-working smoothly in a physical world. If you got any interest or want to join us, please contact with us. And again, smiles and arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you very much for another wonderful pitch. Once again, please scan the QR code shown on the screen to share a quick feedback for the startup. Next pitch is Try Near. Presenter is Mr. Dave Fukaya. Wideband visualization camera that captures invisible data in real time, from heat and radiation to gas, enabling next-gen industrial and environmental sensing for AI. Okay, Mr. Fukaya, now it's your turn.
Thank you. Fatal weakness of autonomous system driving technology is sometimes camera and sensors go blind. No data, then make accident. That is not software problem. That is actually physics of the problem. We solve this problem. We Trinier provide optical fusion technologies which can improve and take all the wideband video and then analyze it. That improves more than 5 times at least the safety and the performance. This technology is actually comes from more than 50 years experience at the Panasonic. One of our teams is also created bird eye view for the parking assistant technology, which is first installed in the previous 30 years ago. We are now applying for the two DoD SBIR program in the United States, and also working with two manufacturers in Japan and United States. So we are delivering new era of autonomy by providing new area of the true vision for AI. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the wonderful pitch. Now please step down from the stage. Please scan the QR code shown on the screen to share your feedback. The next pitch is AnyLens. Presenter is Mr. Yonggi Kim. They provide an AI pitch intelligence platform that delivers investor-grade feedback in 60 seconds. Okay, Mr. Kim, now it's your turn.
Hi everyone, I'm Yonggi from AnyLens. My co-founder and I were both engineers. Honestly, we're not used to pitching. But as founders, our future depends on how clearly we present to investors and customers. That's why we built a pitch intelligence platform. You record your pitch, and our AI analyzes your eye contact, clarity, and confidence in real time. In 1 minute, you get concrete feedback from each target persona. We are starting with the startup market, but our vision is to expand to enterprise to help every employee communicate better. We launched our public beta today. Find us after this session. I'm happy to share what we have. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the wonderful pitch. Again, please scan the QR code on the screen to share your feedback. The next pitch is Recyclist. Presenter is Mr. Ji-hoon Yang. They transform waste into value through circular biomanufacturing, upcycling spent cell culture media for a zero-waste biotech future. Okay, Mr. Yang, now it's your turn.
Thank you. Hi, I am Ji-hoon, CEO and co-founder of Recyclist. At Recyclist, we turn biomanufacturing wastewater into high-value ingredients using microorganisms. Every year globally, over 300 million liters of nutrient-rich liquid is just thrown away by manufacturers. Much of it could be recovered, but is still just thrown away. We use microorganisms that grow directly inside these wastewater, and they consume the ingredients. Then we harvest the biomass and extract the ingredients, which can be sold to existing markets. Since incorporating in 2025 May, we've achieved real lab-based proof. And with this proof, we've secured government financing to push towards the commercialization. And bringing to do this, we bring the team together with biotech systems and also the microbial engineering. And we're trying to open up a market that is overlooked. We're trying to connect with investors and partners. And if you're interested, please visit our booth after the pitches. Thank you.
Thank you very much for another wonderful pitch. Please scan the QR code to give feedback. The next pitch is Adrich. Presenter is Miss Aditi Aji. Backed by Sony Innovation Fund and trusted by partners like Unilever and Amazon, they closed the last mile consumption gap with patented smart labels. Okay, Miss Aji, now it's your turn.
Thank you. Good afternoon. We are Adrich, and we are enabling a smarter way for brands to connect with their customers. Today, there's a lot of data up until the retail store. But once the product leaves the store, it's sort of a black box. Product consumption remains a mystery. We have built the first of its kind smart consumption platform that uses IoT and AI and has a smart label equipped with sensors that detects when it's being used, how much it's being used, how often it's being used. Imagine a world where all the products are smart and intelligent enough to detect when it's running low and self-reorders. No scanning, no talking, no pushing a button. We are live in market. We are headquartered in the US, and we have Unilever and Amazon as our customers. Our beachhead market is consumer insights. We have global recognition with that use case. 70% margins, data as a service is our business model, and we are cash flow positive in that use case. We are here in Japan to bring in just-in-time replenishment for supplies, streamlining inventory management, and here we have Suntory as a customer, and Sony has invested in us. I'm Aditi Aji, co-founder and CEO of Adrich. I started this company when it was an idea when I was studying in Carnegie Mellon, and here we are, a global company. Of course, I couldn't do this alone. I've been joined by rockstar teammates like Nick, who's come from a reputed university like Penn State, and my co-founder, Harish, who comes from Syracuse University. So combined, and come join us in building the next generation, thinnest, smallest, physical AI. If you want to see a demo of the world's first self-smart reordering bottle, please join us at the demo table. Thank you.
Thank you very much for another wonderful pitch. Now please share your feedback. The next pitch is K-Phobics. Presenter is Mr. Mustafa. Advanced nanocoding technologies and autonomous robots that enhance the durability and efficiency of energy infrastructures, such as power grids and wind turbines. Okay, Mr. Mustafa, now it's your turn.
Hi, I am Mustafa, co-founder and CEO of K-Phobics. We are in 21st century, but we haven't still solved these two simple problems. Ice covering by electric lines make it so heavy, so power outage occurs. And it is very big problem for wind turbine side too. And also the second problem is trees can make some forest fire like they did in Los Angeles this year. K-Phobics developed two products for it. One is a coating that prevent ice occurrence more than 94%. And it is environmentally friendly product, and it can stay on the surface at least 4 years. Also, we develop a special drone robot system that apply our product in electric line, and also it can cut the trees in the line, so prevent forest fire too. We already did 3 paid customer with customers, and also we did 7 tests in worldwide. Now we are ready to fundraising. If you want to change the electric sector, let me know. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the wonderful pitch. Now please share your feedback. The next pitch is ICX. Presenter is Mr. Dennis. AI triage assistant that filters healthy brain scans and flags urgent cases. Okay, Mr. Dennis, now it's your turn.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet all of you. My name is Dennis, and I spent the past 7 years working on medical AI research. And one of the reasons because my grandpa didn't receive a timely treatment, and before I thought maybe that's happened because unqualified doctors. But answer is no. The doctors are overloaded. They see thousands of brain scans every day, and that's why urgent cases can easily get overlooked. And we can solve that problem with our multimodal AI triage assistant, which can automatically identify brain abnormalities, find like a healthy patients, and the flags the urgent ones. Lets doctors focus on what matters most. And our edge is a multi-pathology approach versus competitors who are just focused on single pathologist ones, because they don't solve the workload problem. They just literally added some additional noise for hospitals. And we already tested our solution on retrospective studies and have negotiation with hospitals in Japan and overseas for future pilots. And why we win? Because our team have pretty unique expertise. We know each other for a long time. And in the past, we built 5 medical app products, 10 million patients annually. And we know what doctors really want. Thank you so much, and happy to see you on pod.
Thank you very much for the wonderful pitch. Now please take this time to give your feedback. The final pitch is Veritas. Presenter is Mr. Manas. AI-powered research workflow SaaS that helps researchers and R&D teams dramatically boost productivity and reproducibility. Okay, Mr. Manas, now it's your turn.
Thank you. Enterprise R&D burns $80 billion a year because their scientists struggle to find the right papers at the right time. It's not a search problem, it's a workflow problem. And we know this because we're a team of scientists with 30 plus years of research experience, which is why Veritas does not stop at search. It helps a researcher go from idea to output, a manuscript, a grant application, a micro app. But we are not just scientists. We are operators. We build fast and we close deals faster. Since we launched, we have closed 1 enterprise customer, 2 pilots in the pipeline with projected revenue of $100,000, launched our search API on which 8 micro apps have been built. This deck is a bit old. We have added 600 researchers since we uploaded this, 2 R&D teams in our B2B pipeline. So we are Veritas. We are taking ideas to output and turning R&D into ROI. Come see what we are doing for research. Happy to talk to you.
Thank you very much for a wonderful pitch. Now please share your feedback. And that concludes all of the pitches. Please give a big round of applause to all the startups who took on the stage. Thank you all very much. Now, everyone, please turn your attention to the stage for a closing remark from Mr. Nuria Taritani, Deputy Director General of the Innovation Department and Head of Jetro Startup, Jetro.
So as a Jetro, we support a Japanese startup, but we want to create a startup-friendly ecosystem here in Tokyo. So I want to ask whoever you are the startups or venture capital or any other accelerators, please support us. And building startup ecosystem is not developed by only one institution, not by only Jetro, not by only Alchemist. So startup ecosystem is developed by founder helps founders, investor helps investors, and mentor helps mentor. So I want to ask this cohort to pay it forward to next generation to create startup-friendly ecosystem. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Taritani.